Crypto prices have been hit very hard over the last couple of months, and well, there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot going on, and a lot that I don't really think makes sense. Okay, what it boils down to right now are recession fears. Recession fears caused by these tariffs. Recession fears caused by everything. Guys, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this very boldly. What I think we're seeing happen right now is an unraveling of everything that was hidden from us over the last couple of years. And you know what I'm talking about. We have an administration now that is uncovering more fraud than we have ever seen before. And now all of a sudden, people are worried. I remember just a couple of years ago, they changed the definition of recession so that, of course, we didn't have to admit falling into one. The United States is better off now than we have ever been before. The fundamentals look better than they ever have, but the fear that they are feeding you is causing you to sell. Now, we're going to go over some headlines in this video. I'm not going to jump into the articles in depth. You're going to get a pretty good idea of what's going on and what's driving this fear just by the headlines alone. And we're going to be talking about Solaxy Token, which is set to soar as retail re-enters the market after all of the fear subsides. So let's discuss it. If it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay, and as you can see, Solaxy Token has 1 day and 3 hours until the next price increase. Current price? 0.166 cents. If you guys are interested in buying, it's a very simple process. You click on buy with card or buy with crypto. Either way, you got to connect a wallet. Now, I like to use Wallet Connect, scan this QR code that pops up on the screen, and then connect my wallet to the website. And just, all you got to do is type in how much you want to buy, complete the transaction, and those tokens are yours to claim on launch day. 70,000 followers out on their X account. You guys can see they're doing a phenomenal job of growing. 71,000, wow. They're doing a phenomenal job of growing their community out on X, and they're building a layer 2 blockchain. I get it. Right? Layer 2 blockchains don't do well during bear markets. They don't really have a necessity for them until they do. And when they do, they rip up. Now, you guys can go look at Loopring. I've pulled it up in a few videos to show you what happens with Layer 2s during these bull market rallies. But make sure to check out Loopring if you guys want to, I guess, a graphical representation of what can happen to Layer 2s like Solaxy Token during periods of congestion. Let's look real briefly, though, at some of these headlines. Trump is fulfilling his crypto promises. It's no longer enough for investors. Guys, I think what a lot of people were expecting was unrealistic. A lot of people thought we would go out there and the United States would buy $50 trillion worth of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, pump their bags, and all of a sudden we would all be billionaires or trillionaires, right? That's not going to happen, right? That's not industry growth, just to go out and pump your bags so that you can sell. I think a lot of people expected that, and this is to the fault of everybody making these XRP videos, but I think a lot of people expected that Trump would come out and he would say, you know what, we're going to ditch the dollar and we're only going to use XRP. Our whole banking system and financial institution is going to be based on the XRP ledger. That didn't happen. So, of course, prices and fear. When prices are falling and fear is rising. If you go on to read, BlackRock CEO issues serious warning amid $1 trillion Bitcoin sell-off. Okay. Crypto-related stocks slump, along with digital coin prices on Trump plans. See, here's what's happening in some of these articles. They're trying to blame it on policy. Policy that is going to benefit crypto. And guys, I do want to warn you. I have seen this so many times, okay? And one of the things, I know people are searching for these fear articles right now. I know people are worried about what's going to happen, and they feed into the fear more than they should. But you got to take a step back, okay? In 2013, Bitcoin was really popping off. Hit $300 a coin. I think it may have hit $1,000 a coin. Fell back down, major dip to $300 a coin, and I didn't touch it. I specifically remember not touching it because I fell victim to all of these idiots right here, telling you that it's never going to be worth anything. It's only for criminals, and it's falling back down in the bubble that burst it, and we're never going to get off with any Bitcoin or any crypto. Okay. 2017. Fantastic rally. to $19,000 per coin. But in 2018, and I was involved by then, but I was mining cryptocurrency. I would have had life-changing money if I simply accumulated, but instead, I continued mining. Passive income. It was great, and I was able to accumulate, but it could have been so much better off. But all of the articles, the Bitcoin bubble has burst. We will never see. It's just like the .com bubble. We're never going to get back up to the highs. The bears are in charge now. You idiots for buying and all of this nonsense. Well, then 2021 came, guys. And if you would have just bought during 2018, you probably would have been a millionaire. Of course, people didn't because they fell victim to the fear. 2021's bear market came. Oh, what do you know? 2025 has already provided higher highs. And I know that we're pulling back, and I don't believe that we're in a bear market or anything like that yet. The prices have been hit very hard, but I do not believe that this is the end. I have seen it time and time again. And I know with all of these negative articles that are being written about Bitcoin, crypto, and so on, I know that the institutions are accumulating. I know that we plan on growing this industry, and I know that these prices will move higher. Therefore, I am buying everything that I can get my hands on, including tokens like Solaxy. And I don't know, right? I don't know if tomorrow is going to bring another red day or if it's going to be a green day. I don't know where the bottom is. I don't know where the top is. If I did, we would all be trillionaires and all of that. But what I do know is I expect growth. And because of that growth, I expect tokens like Solaxy to do very well. If you expect growth, let me know down in the comments below. I want to know where the people are that are not falling victim to the fear. If you're out there, let us know. Inspire us. Keep us in the game. And until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.